Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of What If Yuji Itadori Had the Rinnegan. Last time we left off after Yuji learning the history of his eyes and vowing to seal all 19 of the remaining fingers of Sukuna and to protect as many people as possible and to do so. Joining Jujutsu High. With everyone caught up, let's begin. Before going to Jujutsu High, Yuji asks Gojo if he can wait for him to cremate his grandpa before going. After his grandpa's cremation, Gojo gives Yuji another one of Sukuna's fingers, asking him to seal the soul like he did the other one to see if there are any drawbacks to sealing multiple fingers. Fortunately, since Yuji had already seen all of Sukuna's memories, there was no problem sealing the second one. After arriving at Jujutsu High, Yuji is presented before the principal, who asks Yuji why he had decided to join Jujutsu High. With Yuji explaining that all his life he has been able to sense the pain caused by curses and has been powerless to do anything, and his grandpa asked him to save as many lives as he can, so that is what he is going to do. He also states that he is the only person capable of sealing all of Sukuna's fingers for good thanks to his Rinnegan. Hearing Yuji's reasons, the principal has no reason to reject Yuji, so he is admitted into Jujutsu High and gets a dorm room next to Megumis despite the vast amount of vacant rooms elsewhere. After meeting with the third and final member of the first year, Nobara Kugiseki, Gojo tells them that their first mission is to go to Tokyo and investigate and eliminate the cursed spirit residing in a haunted apartment building. The apartment building had gained a reputation for being haunted due to the presence of a powerful cursed spirit known as Cursed Womb. Death paintings. This malevolent spirit was responsible for several gruesome deaths and disturbances in the area. While Yuji and Nobara Kugiseki enter the building, Gojo and Megumi wait outside, with Gojo explaining that the real goal of the mission was to test Nobara, as they already knew Yuji's power. Upon entering the building, Yuji would tell Nobara to be careful as there are multiple spirits upstairs as well as a child. However, Nobara ignores his advice, asking how he even knows that, not even waiting for a response. Wanting to clear his floor as fast as possible so that he can help Nobara, Yuya uses Universal Pool to attract the cursed spirit on his floor, skewering it on a cursed rod, killing it. Yuji would then make his way up to the top floor, sensing that Nobara had messed up and the child was held hostage. Without even using his Rinnegan, Yuji punches through the concrete wall, placing his hand on the cursed spirit, then using the human path to remove the curse's soul, killing it. Shocked as to how powerful Yuji was, Nobara would ask him how he punched through the walls like it was nothing and then killed the curse by simply touching it. Then, noticing Yuji's Rinnegan, asking him if he has a serious case of pink eye or something. Yuji would then tell her that he will explain it later, however first they should check on the boy's safety, escorting him out the building. After the mission, Yuji explains his special eyes to Nobara, with Gojo saying that Yuji is the second honored one, with the other one being himself. A few days later, while Gojo is on another mission, the 3 first years are given a mission to investigate a detention ward where there is believed to be a cursed spirit causing chaos. They are told not to engage it and only to check on the health of the inmates and observe the spirit, and are explicitly told to run on site if they see a special grade. Hearing this, Yuji tells them that there is a special grade inside the building and all the inmates are all dead already. With this information, they are advised not to enter, however Yuji tells them to wait outside while he exercises the special grade as it has something he wants. And telling them that it's also his duty to retrieve the bodies of the inmates for their family's sake. Despite the objections, Yuji would say 10 shadow technique, cursed spirit barrier, curtain, creating a veil, and went inside the building, and within a minute he was back out with one of Sukuna's fingers and all 3 of the bodies. While inside, Yuji easily dismantled the weaker cursed spirits. Finally coming across the special grade cursed spirit and demanded for it to give him the cursed object, however of course it had no understanding of human language and had no desire to do so, even if It did understand, so lunged at Yuji, attempting to cleave his hand off. However, Yuji easily countered it with almighty push, slamming the spirit through the wall. He would then create a cursed rod, holding it in front of him using universal pull to attract the spirit towards him, impaling it, then absorbing its cursed energy until it died, leaving just the finger. After leaving the building, Yuji would use the human path to remove Sukuna's soul from the finger, making it turn to ash. Itachi then asks Yuji how he avoided fighting the special grade. However, Yuji would smile, calling the special grade weak and not even a challenge, so it was a piece of cake to exercise. Hearing this, Itachi thinks of Gojo, as he would have said the exact same thing. Due to Yuji still being alive in this version of events, he gets to meet the second years at the same time as Megumi and Nobara and learns about the Kyoto Goodwill event. Before they begin training, Gojo tells Yuji that he is going to train him personally. Happy, Yuji hugs Gojo, telling him that he thought that he was the best person to train him, and that he didn't think he would learn much from Maki. Hearing this, Maki is offended, but she then learns that Yuji easily beat a special grade, so is forced to agree. After arriving at a secluded area, Yuji asks Gojo how he plans to train him, with Gojo telling him that first they will test his understanding with a quick spar. However, Gojo really just wanted to fight with someone he wouldn't beat in a second. Yuji would try to reject the idea, reminding Gojo that he is the strongest, so he will lose if they fight. However, Gojo reassures that since it is a spar it doesn't matter and he will try to match his level. Upon the match beginning, Gojo decides to test Yuji's combat skills. Using his immense speed to close the gap, Gojo launches a series of punches and kicks. However, Yuji, having learned Sukuna's fighting styles, through reading his soul, parries Gojo's attacks and counters with powerful physical strikes enhanced by cursed energy, activating Black Flash for the first time, increasing his concentration and understanding of cursed techniques as well as supercharging his strength. Realizing due to Gojo's limitless technique, he wasn't landing any blows, Yuji decides to use the Petra path to absorb Gojo's infinity, allowing him to land a punch, pushing Gojo away. Amazed by Yuji's quick thinking, Gojo gets back up and starts to take the fight a bit more seriously, increasing his speed, landing a clean punch on Yuji. However, Yuji ignores the pain and attempts to use the human path to remove Gojo's soul. However, Gojo realizes this and uses the reverse effect of the strengthened limitless, producing a strong repelling effect that repels Yuji. However, Yuji also uses almighty push, making the repelling forces collide and clash with each other, splitting the ground. However, in the end, Yuji's almighty push was stronger and pushed Gojo away. Gojo then got up, using reverse cursed techniques to heal his injuries, then using red to send a massive blast towards Yuji, which Yuji uses his unique Rinnegan ability to reflect. However, Gojo was no longer there and was behind Yuji and released a point-blank hollow purple, and since Yuji had just used his curse reflection technique, he couldn't use it again for another 30 seconds, forcing him to attempt to absorb the technique. Despite managing to absorb the technique, his fingers were severely burnt and falling off, and he was sent flying through the forest, crashing through multiple trees. Using the absorbed energy, Yuji used reverse cursed technique to heal himself. However, as soon as he did so, Gojo would appear in front of him, not giving him time to rest. Using his superior strength and speed to outclass Yuji, landing a constant flurry of blows which, despite Yuji being able to follow, were far too fast to intercept, leaving Yuji badly beaten, and if not for his strong willpower, would have knocked him out. Yuji would then get up, using the animal path to summon multiple Shikigamis, which all had a Rinnegan, connecting their sight to Yuji. The giant rhino would charge towards Gojo, however Gojo easily repelled it with blue. This left Gojo open to an aerial attack from the giant drill-beaked bird. However, it was unable to make contact due to Gojo's infinity, but this wasn't its goal. All it needed to do was distract Gojo for a split second, so that the giant spider could surround Gojo in giant sticky webs. Confused as to why Yuji would use such a weak attack, Gojo would bring infinity into reality, blowing the webs away and destroying the summons. Gojo would then look around, using his 6 eyes, but was unable to find Yuji. Gojo would then try to annoy Yuji into giving up his location, by yelling that if he was so scared he had to run, he could have just told him, then making chicken noises. Little did Gojo know, Yuji was inside the giant snake-tailed chameleon summon, which had the ability to camouflage with the environment so perfectly that it couldn't be sensed. Putting his remaining cursed energy into one attack, Yuji exits the chameleon's mouth, marking Gojo as the core of a massive planetary destruction, as the earth is torn apart and drawn towards Gojo. However, within the split second of Yuji leaving his hiding spot, Gojo initiated his domain expansion, Limitless Void. Seeing this, Yuji attempted to overpower the domain expansion by laying out his own simple domain, which he had learned how to do by reading Sukuna's soul. However, he didn't have enough energy to maintain it and fainted after only 1 second of resisting, therefore releasing his planetary destruction. Shocked as to how much Yuji could already push him, Gojo stumbles to catch Yuji, saying that it isn't long until he will have to relinquish his title as the strongest sorcerer. After sleeping for a day straight, Yuji would finally wake up, and ask how he got there, with Gojo explaining that he used all his cursed energy in their fight and fainted. Realizing he had lost, Yuji would playfully say that he wanted to win that fight, then jumping up and asking Gojo what's next. Gojo then helps Yuji to continue to practice his domain expansion, then deciding to both check on the other students. While driving, Gojo would tell Ijachi to stop, getting out the car along with Yuji and telling Ijachi to drive off. Okay guys, this is the end of part 2 of What If Yuji Itadori Had the Rinnegan. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like, comment down below any video suggestions, and subscribe with the notification bell enabled. Without further ado, this is Demonic Saiyan saying bye.